Oh, man, the joys of technology. So, welcome everybody. We're going to have a great one today, like we always do. And yeah, let's get into it. Oh, good afternoon. Welcome to Small Biz Bites. I'm Gwendolyn, G.R. Houston Jack. Man, I'm excited about today. I'm so excited about today. It's going to be a great one. No matter where we are in the world, it's going to be a great one. We are streaming live to LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. If you're on YouTube, we would love for you to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to, you can hit the notification bell, know when things are going on. You could do that too. But I'm excited about our guest. So excited to bring on, how do I want to describe you? Now, I heard social media guru the other day. Do I want to use that title? Can we stick with that?
If you want to.
Welcome, everybody. This is what's the right word? I want to use amazing, eccentric. Okay, I can also say stunning because I've seen your photos. But this is Chris Edwards. Welcome.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me on.
I'm so excited to have you here. And, this community is a great one. So wherever you are watching us, let us know. Put it in the comments because we love to talk to all of you. And Chris is going to give us a good one today because he truly is a social media guru. He's got a lot of nuggets and gems that he's going to share with all of us as small business owners, particularly when it comes to collaborating and partnership. So before we get into it and get started, we do have some community here. We got Gary Jackson tuning in. Good afternoon, Gary. Thank you. And he's keeping an eye out for the music. Sometimes you get a little loud over here. Just get a little loud, but we like it loud. So before we get into the topic of the hour, Chris, tell us about who you are. Can you share some 5 fun facts with us?
Okay, so first of all, thank you for having me on. My name is Chris Edwards. I am a social media manager for a few companies. And some 5 fun facts about me. I'm artistic. I love music. I love Asian cuisine. I love to travel. And I am enjoying the second half of my life.
All right. Okay. We haven't even got started. Yeah, already, I'm like, wait a minute. Pause. The second half of your life. You want to describe that real quick? Because now I'm kind of like, well, wait a minute.
So for me, the second part of my life is being fully who I am. I got married almost 4 years ago, and I'm just enjoying life now. I'll be 48 in November, and I feel like I've just really started to live.
Oh, Snike, you're a Chinese rabbit. 75. It was a good year, sir.
Yes,
it's a real good
is.
year. If I must say so myself. But, I've been rounding up to 50 lately.
Okay.
It's a thing that we do. I just something about saying my normal age. I kind of like when I get close to, I'm kind of like, well, it's darn near 50. Might as well start calling it.
Close enough.
The body and the face are acting as if.
Some days, yes.
So I'm like, well, maybe I should go ahead and claim it because it's giving me some palpitations here. Hey, we've got, Gary says, hello, Chris. There you go.
Hello, Gary. How you? Nice to meet you.
Oh, and like your friend's here. Your friend is here. Hello, Rick. So yeah, that whole deal. But if I may just go back and piggyback on your comment of enjoying your second half of life, I have to say, I'm actually feeling what you're feeling. Because people were like, well, 30 is where it's at and 40 is. I felt like I was into it when I got to like 38. almost 40, like the 40s are the bomb. Because like you're really into who you are. You got the career thing down. Hopefully you have solidified what matters to you and you're just living truly your best life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because
It's
that's where
funny.
we are.
I loved my 30s, but when I turned 40, I like really fell in love with who I was. And then when I met my husband at like around 43, 44, it's when I felt like I started to truly live. I started traveling, like really traveling hard in my early 40s. But then when I met him, it was just like, it went to that next level. So
Yeah.
I'm just kind of living my best life right now.
Sweet. Well, according to Peggy, 50s is where it's at.
Oh, hey, I'm close enough. We can round up.
We can round up because
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like this, when people are like, oh my God, it's so great to be 20. Ain't nothing happening in your 20s, ain't a thing happening in your 20s. You barely
Nope.
got any money, right? So, or know who you are. So I'm like, really? 20s?
I say your 20s or your stupid years is when you're learning everything.
Man,
So
my lessons,
I don't miss it.
yeah, those lessons, definitely. So I completely believe in everything you're saying. And we're like
Yeah.
slight empty nesters. So, like I said, it's about getting out with the grandkids, enjoying stuff, doing what we want to do. That feels real good. It feels
Yeah.
real good. So I get what you're saying there. So, funny enough, your title on Instagram is constantly changing for me. It is also the name of your business.
Yes.
So tell us about that and how it came into creation.
Okay, so in 2018, I had been on social media and I've been on Instagram since the inception of Instagram, but I had a separate page and it was basically to highlight my photography and my travels. Now, when 2018 rolls around, I wanted to do a more fashion forward page, just something kind of like really for myself to kind of catalog some of the looks. I was started really getting into fedoras and I was pairing them with suits. And I just honestly, I was feeling myself and I wanted to kind of do something for me. But people started taking notice of some of the posts I was making and some companies started reaching out to me. And the first company that reached out to me was a hat company, which was based out of Tampa, Florida. You okay?
I think we've lost a little bit of Chris.
Oh, I'm here. Can you not
Yes,
see me?
okay, there you go. Something
Okay.
happened there.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I don't know.
But I heard fedoras,
Yeah,
and I
so
heard that you were feeling yourself.
yeah.
And people were like, hey, how can we get on this train?
Yeah, so a hat company reached out to me and I became a brand ambassador for them. And then the ball just started rolling from there. And so even before I created that account, I wanted to really pick a name that suited me, but then would also hold up down the line. And I realized I was going through a lot of changes. And I said, constantly changing. But a lot of times people say, I'm not constantly changing for you or anyone else. I'm constantly changing for myself. So I said, constantly changing for me. And it was constantly changing the number 4 and me. And that's how the name came about. Fast forward to 2020, I was like, during the beginning of the pandemic, I got laid off from my job. So my career in training is in architecture. And I was in that for over 20 years. I got laid off and I said, you know what? I'm done with that. I don't want to go back to corporate America. I got a foothold in social media. And I said, you know what? I want to make this work. And around 2021, I decided, or 2022 actually, I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start a business and I'm gonna manage some, because I was already managing one account, kind of. I said, I want to do this, manage some accounts, and then also keep it under the umbrella of my photography as well, because I'm also a photographer, as you made mention to earlier. So I said, why not? What better way to brand myself and the business by just using the same name? Everyone knows me by that on social media. What I'm doing is on social media, just using the same name and just make it an LLC. So that's what I did. And I've just been using it ever since. And I think it really suits me. And what it does, it's timeless. It's never going to change. And it speaks to a little bit of everything that I do because I'm constantly changing. So even if I decide to drop photography or I decide to drop the social media and do something else, it still holds true because I'm constantly changing.
It's actually very genius because when you think about people, how do we say this graciously? Because I sometimes I put my foot in my mouth and I'm okay with that because, I've been kicking up dust since I was in high school. But when you look at people and relationships, even with themselves, we often will change our behaviors, hopefully for the better, but a lot of times, let's just say in terms of stereotypes, for someone else, to get someone else's attention, to get society's attention. We do all these things that are not authentic to who we are as a person, and we are going to evolve. Like,
Yeah.
I would hope that we would all evolve. I think about Prince, God rest his soul, but the man had a great evolution. I mean, he did some things when he was younger that were risque, to say the least. But even he mentioned it gets old. You can't stay there. If
Hmm.
you're going to change, make sure you're doing it for yourself, not for
Absolutely.
somebody else. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Very,
And
very nice.
I try to stay true to that, since I started this journey, um, it's evolved, it's changed over the times. I've worked with a couple organizations. I was a creative director for a company for a little while, for about a year. But I've kind of settled into just really focusing and bringing on clients that I really want to work with. Um, you know, I work with a hat company, and I've been working with them for quite some time now. I manage their social media account. I manage their website. I manage the ambassador program for them. And then my other big client, as I mentioned to you before, I work with After Seven, the R&B group. I am the manager and director for their social media and marketing group. So, I keep very busy with those two clients. Plus, I have other smaller clients as well that I work with. And I
Uh,
love it. I make my own schedule. I work from home. That's the one thing I don't miss at all is the commute. Because I used to live in New York,
yeah.
and I worked in the city and lived on Long Island. And that was a 45 minute train ride, and then another 20-minute walk across town. So, I had a day.
You know, if I wanna, I always say, let me match. So I understand that commute. I worked in White Plains for a hot minute,
Mm,
living in Chelsea, right? So it was getting up. There was still the 1 and the 9 back then. Taking that to Grand Central, getting
yeah.
on Metro North, going out to White Plains, and either taking like a dollar cab or carpooling or walking to get to where I had to, and then coming back again. So the things we do when we want to work a certain place, but commuting, love it, and then also highly overrated. Just gonna say it
It
right
is.
then and there. I'm gonna say it. We got comments coming in. Hold up, wait a minute. My
Okay.
mama's here, y'all.
Hi,
My
Mama.
mama said, "Hey, ma, what's going on?" My mother. We finally got her an avatar because she just didn't have anything, and I was like, "Your daughter is a photographer. I know you have some great photos. I'm going to fix that up." We also have Hayner here, who is also a fellow photographer. Hello, Hayner.
Hey,
And
what's up?
Peggy is sharing that changing for self is the only true change, right? That 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 is, pardon me, the only authentic way to change. That it
Absolutely.
is.
Yep.
Absolutely. If you're going to do anything, do it for you.
Yep. Don't The minute
You're
you do
like,
it
you
for
should do it
someone
for
else,
love.
it doesn't work. You have to do it for
No,
yourself.
no. I mean, well, I don't want to get into unconditional love and whatnot, but I do want to come back to the job change. Hold up. And then Erica says hello, also another fellow photographer. We love
What's
the
up, Erica?
photographers because a lot of us are, of course, our own business person, and we love to get other tidbits from other photographers and creatives because you're so much more than kind of like Prince. You can't put you in a box, sir. You cannot
Yeah.
be boxed.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. Gary says that after 7, we got to talk.
All right, Gary.
That we do. Yeah, like real crooners. That real crooners. We have our friend Ron here.
What's up, Ron?
Hello,
My
Ron.
partner in
Hello.
crime on Thursdays and
Great to see you
Fridays.
too. There you go, your partner. And this is a perfect set because we're going to talk about the whole partnership thing. And then, of course, again, Hayner is sharing that shout out to New York City, Strong Island, Central
Oh, she's
Iceland.
Central
And
Iceland.
that,
I'm Westbury.
see, I had to work out in Westbury for a stitch.
Okay. Where in Westbury?
Oh, you want me to give you like cross streets? Because when I travel, I just parked up for like 3 weeks, did my thing, and I bounced.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yes. Woodland travels all over. I
Okay.
didn't mind driving in Westbury. That was fine. It felt normal.
Yeah.
People still can't park. But other parts, like I never drove in Manhattan. It was like, that's a no for me. I'm not doing it. Like I don't.
You said take the train. Just take the train.
Yeah, it's like I'm not doing it. Oh, and Ron also agrees that yes, Chris is many things. He's many things. So before we get into our other topics, I want to slide back to the working for self because I read, but I can't remember who wrote it, and it's one of those things. But somebody said your salary is your ceiling. Whereas when you work for yourself, truly the sky is the limit. Now, if I may, does it seem harder or slightly easier because now it is you making your schedule, getting all the things done? What is that like really quick?
In all honesty, it's harder because there's no safety net. You're self-reliant. I mean, and pay goes by, the projects that you bring in. So sometimes, you might be struggling one month because there's just not the amount of projects you thought were going to come in or things get delayed. It's not like you can say, all right, well, if you're working for someone else, they can put you on another project, whereas you have to constantly be going out and finding new clients, trying to make connections. Like for me, that's the most important thing. It's about making connections. Us having this conversation, this is a connection right here. Who knows that we might be able to partner to work on something down the road. That's what I've always been really good at. That's what I pride myself on, is making really great connections with great people. I try not to, I'm a very friendly person. I can talk to anyone, but I don't want to waste my time on individuals or things that don't suit or represent me, if that makes any sense. Because there's so many other things that are out there that I could be spending time on.
People, we've said it quite often. Peggy, her parents have said to her, my dad has said to me, all money's not good money.
This is true.
It's simple. It's
And
like,
we've
I
all
know I
learned
need
the hard
the
way.
green, right? But I don't need the green that bad.
Yeah.
Not to do that. Speaking of Peggy, she says, I have never had the 9 to 5. Oh, right. Peggy's never had the 9 to 5. She thought it was weird. She's like, I didn't understand.
Here's the thing though. I will say this, having the 9 to 5 for so long makes me appreciate this now. Granted, I'm going to tell the truth. I work a lot harder than I ever did working for someone else. But here's the thing. I don't really consider it work because I'm loving what I'm doing. I'm loving the interactions I'm having with people. And it just makes it worthwhile. I do have to set boundaries though, to a certain degree, because if not, I'll just keep working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm at a point now, honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not burnt out, but I know my vacation is coming up at the end of this month. So I'm looking forward to that. So all the stuff that I'm gonna be doing between now and then, it's gonna be worth it because I'm gonna get that nice 9 days off where I'm gonna completely disconnect from the rest of the world and enjoy myself.
I understand all of that. I want to table that one because I want to come back to that. But I do want to, like I said, we love to do little sidebars here.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of where you are now in terms of your career, were you inspired by anybody? Like, were there a person that inspired you for the path that you're on right now?
No one in particular. I have come across so many great individuals that I look up to, that inspire me, that give me motivation. One being my good friend Ron Lewis on here. We have a great friendship. Also, I have to say, Rex, we talk all the time. As a matter of fact, I was on the phone with him before we got on. So there are people in my life that inspire me, that I really value their time, their opinion, their hustle, their drive. And we encourage one another. We hold each other accountable. I know I can rely on them. That's really, really important when you have people in your life, not just family, but also really good friends that you can rely on. And also that you can rely on them to tell you the truth, even truth that you might not want to hear. That's really important to me because I don't feel as though you can grow if you have yes people all around you and people that are going to tell you what you want to hear. You have to have people that are going to challenge you and question some of your decisions, because that's what allows you to grow, and I find that really important, and I love them for that. So if they're still on here, shout out to you guys. I appreciate everything you do for me, um, how you question me, how you hold me accountable, and you give me the drive to keep going on.
Well, it just so happens that they are still here because Ron says he loves the freedom. Uh, I work hard, but it's for me. And he
Yep,
also gave you some hundreds because he knows about that accountability
yep,
and that consistent and compassionate feedback. That's
yeah,
the only way to grow. People think, well, I don't want to. It's like, no, 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 no. There's criticism, and then there's feedback on what's working well and what you may want to adjust to be even better, as how we
yeah,
look at it. Peggy says, I imagine we work harder, but that we love it. Yes.
yes.
I mean, it is hard work, but I enjoy it. I mean, I do enjoy it. I do enjoy the freedom, doing little things. Got my little cocktail right here, like I always do. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I got to worry about HR.
Yeah. No, you know what? I will say this. I've never got, since I've started this venture on my own, I never get up and say, oh, damn, I got to go to work. Or
Right.
it's, I've had that feeling in the past where it's just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want
Yeah.
to just move on from something else. I don't have
Yeah.
that feeling. And when I had that feeling with a client, it's going to be like, okay, you know what? We've done what we've needed to do. It's time for me to move on from you and get another client. But I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm not there. I'm thoroughly loving what I'm doing. The late nights are worth it. The long hours are worth it. I enjoy it, and just keep it coming.
It's a different level of joy. It's a different
It
level of
is.
joy. As Rex says, he appreciates you too. Oh, love
Come
that
on, bro.
love. Look at that. Look at that brotherly love. Ron is sending you hearts. Gotta love it. Gary says, shout out to my accountability partner. I am his accountability partner. He
Okay.
is
Okay.
mine. We keep ourselves together. We have done some things. We are like moving the needle. It's great when you have people who are going to help push you and keep going and say,
Yep.
you know what, you really could do this. Like I don't know why you like dragging your feet. You could do it. You could definitely do it.
Yeah.
Love that. Ron also says he loves the mutual accountability. There you go. All right. Love it. And lastly, we got Erica. Oh yeah, she's going to now join our. She's going to join our accountability group. She has squirrel syndrome. You know what I'm saying? She sees things she goes running.
Okay.
We're going to keep her focused.
Okay. Okay.
We are going to keep her focused. Now, like you, I spent 25 years, 8 months at my job, where I did work with Ron for a stitch, as we say. And I loved it, but I always knew at some point I was going to leave. And those last couple of years, it really was, oh Lord, if I can just get through 8 more hours,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can feel stifled, if you will, after a while,
Yeah.
right? But Lord knows, I love what I do here. I got a client call this evening, just like you do. There's always more work to be done, but having and managing your own, it is a bit much because if you don't go out and get the fish, ain't nobody eat. So let's
That
just
point.
go ahead and be honest about
That point.
that. So, since you're speaking about your partners, let's talk about that now. Why is collaborating with others necessary as a business owner and or creative?
So, especially as a creative, I find it's really important to collaborate with other people on, especially for me on social media, because one, it allows you to build your brand. A lot of times when people follow you or you follow people, you're in a certain niche of people. When you allow yourself to collaborate with others, you're opening yourself up to their circle of friends and clients, right?
Mhm.
And you're getting to other people that you probably would never have access to. So that right there is important. And then also, I think it's just good to have other people in which you can throw up ideas to.
Mhm.
You can share your views. I use Ron as a perfect example. Ron and I do Touch Base Daily. I'm on Thursdays and Fridays with him for both of those shows. And this is just a continuation of our talks that we do. So what Ron and I started doing at the very beginning of the pandemic, because we're all locked away, was we said, hey, listen, we can't be in person. Let's just get on a call, on a FaceTime call, and on Mondays, whatever worked better for us, and let's just talk. So we dedicated an hour every Monday since the beginning of the pandemic just to get online and talk to one another, have a FaceTime, and just see what's going on, you know. And it just continued. And then, he started doing the Touch Base Daily, I believe it was last year.
Mm-hmm.
And we said, hey, let's just continue our conversations on your platform and just have other people, listen and then, interact with us. And we've been doing it for over a year now. And, it's just worked out really well. The shows that we do on Thursdays and Fridays, they're not planned. We both are news junkies. We love politics. We love financial stuff. And then we just love the news in general. So we come to that platform not knowing what each other has watched or listened to, but we know because we know what each other likes. And we just talk about things. And sometimes when we start with one topic, we stray into a whole nother topic altogether. It's never planned. And it's just great. It's just two friends talking, sharing thoughts, how our days went, what we see on the news, and then get people involved. And that's the show. And it's been such a pleasure to do this with him. Ron and I met at his first meetup.
Really?
I was the first person to for his very first meetup in New York City back in 2018, I believe it was. Ron, correct me if I'm wrong. We met at a Starbucks in Tribeca, I believe it was. And there were two other people that came and met with us. And then after that, Ron and I have been friends ever since.
Well, he says he loves to partner in crime.
Yeah. So what you're seeing from us on Thursdays and Fridays is it all started back in New York City in 2018 with that one connection that we had. And we have a friend that introduced us, actually. Someone I worked with, a friend of his, Elsie. So, that's why it's so important to create friendships, because you never know where those friendships will end up going. Another example is Rex. Rex and I became friends at the beginning of the pandemic as well, online. And it was because we both followed each other. And I was in a group and I wanted an article written on this group that I was in. And I know he was a writer. He had a magazine, Rags and Pieces. And, one of the things that I'm really known for, I'll just do a cold DM, kind of like, the traditional cold calls. And I reach out to people and say, hey, look, this is who I am. We've been following each other. I love your work. I have a project that maybe I think that you'd be really good for. And, I don't know what he's going to say. He doesn't know me. He could easily just say no. I gave him my little 5-minute elevator pitch. It was only supposed to be a brief conversation. We ended up talking for like an hour. And then, we worked on this little project. And then we just realized we had so much in common. And we became friends from that. We both know each other's families, and we go down to DC all the time. We stay with them. When they come up, they stay with us. So it's like a true friendship, and all this started on social media. Just a cold DM, just to ask if he wants to write something.
It's funny you say that, because my kindred spirit is Peggy. I literally decided to reach out to more photographers, have a bigger photographer network, because you can't be in every single city. But if I know someone and talk with them and chat with them, maybe do like a virtual call or meet in person, then I can say, so-and-so can take care of you. So Peggy and I met up. She's like, hey, let's chat. And 3 hours later, we were like best sisters. You know what I'm saying? So as she says here, collaboration is everything. I love to collaborate with amazing people because they make me look amazing-er. Get to see a bigger picture.
Yep. It's so important.
It's very important. Like, you got to get out there and talk to people. Erica also says, I find that the non-95 job, you have to determine your own value after being taught your whole life in the system for others set that value for you, 9 to 5. You are correct. Because once you get that mindset that you're only worth $12.50, you find yourself sticking there.
Yeah.
Unless you've never had it like Peggy, and you're like, no, this is worth at least 100. Got to be at least 100. And as we showed before, Ron says, yes, 2018 indeed is when you guys first got together. Now, here's the
February.
part.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm getting all the dates. Here's the part that goes to fear, and I'm going to say a little bit of paranoia, but some of it's valid. So I'm doing this research on how fear is used very often as a motivator.
Uh-oh, did we lose her? So I believe that she's on the road and she's not where she normally is. So let's hopefully she jumps right back on. I'm still here. So I can see the comments. So if anyone has questions, you can ask me until Gwendolyn comes back on. Oh, there you go. You're back. I was talking to the people while you were while you were away. I told them that you were
I
not in
see
your
that. I
regular
don't know
location.
what happened. It's like all of a sudden, whew,
We make it
this
work. We
small
make it
biz
work.
bites on the road, man. I don't know.
Make it work. All
You
good.
know, this Virgo is having palpitations right now. We are really trying to keep it together, people. I'm trying to keep it together. But back to the deal about fear and picking partners. How do you pick the right partner for your business? It is not someone who is just trying to use you, if you will.
Okay, I think that's a great question. I've been there, done that. So for me, when I'm going to partner with someone, I look for someone that I can trust. I rather go to people that I've known over years versus someone who's just fresh off the boat that I don't really know, because I can be a little skeptical. 'Cause people have ulterior motives. You know, I've dealt with people where they only want to be around you because you have something to offer them, and I don't do that. I'm not here for that. You know, the people that I partner with and do business with, it's very strategic. I know them. I know their background. I know their heart, and I know that they can get stuff done. I don't partner myself with people where I'm gonna have to pick up all their slack because they're not reliable. You know, I'll give you an example. Done tons of stuff with Rex. We've worked on projects together. I know I can depend on him. Um, I'm very careful and selective of who I work with and who I let into my circle. I love people. I can have a conversation with anyone, but that does not mean that you're going to get into my inner circle. There's a difference. You have to know. People always say, "Oh, these are my friends. These are my friends." No, they're not your friends. They're acquaintances. They're people you know. Not everyone is your friend. Everyone might be your acquaintance or someone you know in passing. Friends are the people I can count on my hands, that I can depend on. If I pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I need this. I need help," it's never a question. I'll give you an example. Rex, forgive me. I'm going to talk about a little bit what we talked about today. So I'm actually going down to DC on the 15th. We're going to work on a project for some of the shows I'm going to be working on for the fall. I know that I can say, "Hey, Rex, I need you to do some video of me for these intros." And he's like, "Okay." I said, "Are you available that Tuesday?" "Yeah, come on through." I went online, booked my ticket. I'm going to be there. Full day of the shooting, and I'm going on my way. Those are people I can depend on. And the same thing for me. Like, if he needs something, all he has to do is pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I need this, I need that." "Oh, okay, just tell me where and when, and we're going to be there. We'll make it happen." Those are the type of collaborations. Those are the type of people that I want to do business with. I'd rather do business with my friends because, one, I can trust them. I know their heart, and I know they don't have any bad intentions towards me. Because growing up, from your 20s to the early 40s, you learn that people will use you for certain things, and you have to learn the hard way. You have to learn the hard way. I have, and
my mama always said, "Everybody ain't your friend."
Exactly. She knows what she's talking about.
Mother is good for that.
She knows what she's talking about.
She does. And I am very much, well, beyond being a Virgo, I am very much a box person. There is never a moment that you don't know where you stand with me. If you're a stranger off the street, if you're an acquaintance, an associate, a colleague, but we don't pass the friend word of that title loosely.
Yeah, I don't.
That is a no.
I do not.
It is a no. So that's just not happening. Gary says he's preaching right now. I love it. Everybody ain't your friend. Yes, and we are using all the improper grammar on Small Biz Bites. It's how we roll around here. We got to make sure that people stick. We like ain't every now and then. We says, yes, he's on fire now. It is true. Because, there are a lot of people, and we are speaking in generalities here, but we have seen our fair share of people who get burned by someone. And going back to that fear, a lot of us operate out of fear. We don't want to, as I've said before, share our ideas because somebody might steal it. Your blessing is your blessing. Can't nobody take that. So do what you got to do. Right? There's, as we've always said, there's a grocery store. It is filled with the same food, aisles and aisles over. And all those bottles of water, loaves of bread, and jars of peanut butter are selling. It's going to be okay, right? The way you do it is the way you do it. So the whole idea of, I just don't know if I can, it's like you got to take a chance. And I will say this, social media gives us this sort of false sense of knowing somebody.
Yes.
Right? I'm working on this right now from other podcasts. How people assume they know you just because they interact with you or some form of fashion, and they are getting a snippet of your life from social media. It's like, but you don't know me.
Yeah.
That's just your, like, that's like, and I know Ron is not about physical violence. I'm gonna hit somebody. It's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. My mama know it. My dad, rest his soul, probably where I got it from. So I'm fully aware of who I am. So if you come at me sideways, it's gonna be some stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
hands down.
Social media to me, like what you see is surface. You know what I mean? Unless you're interacting with that person on a regular basis, you don't know who that person is. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, I'm on this platform to be sociable and then to see if I can create connections with people. I will say this. Social media can be a really positive thing. It's been beneficial for me in so many different ways. Not only have I made really good friends and friendships, business partners, but I met my husband on social media.
Oh,
so
really?
it can, I wasn't looking for it, but it happened. And I'll take it. I don't regret it one bit, not one bit. But it can, if you use it correctly, it can be a positive experience.
I agree with that. I do agree.
That's how we met.
It is, well, okay, so it is how we met. True. I'm still stuck on the love thing. Hold on, let me come back because my work husband's calling me out for being like Cardi. That was the chat this morning. Here's the deal. Quick little side note here, since we're going to do this little side note. There is this weird thing where people feel as if they can act any kind of way and there will be no repercussions and consequences, according to T.I.
I'm totally with
If
Cardi.
you throw something at me, I am coming over the countertop. Yeah. No, it's not happening.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We all going to jail.
The unfortunate thing about this now is that young lady is suing. Actually, sorry, she's trying to press charges against Cardi B. Oh, she's offline again. Bear with her. She's coming back on. There you go. It's okay. I got you. But yeah, I don't blame her one bit. I'd have threw that mic at her also.
Yeah. I mean, we were saying earlier that I was watching this string of videos where people were at the fast food places and restaurants, and because they were hangry, they were throwing food, they were throwing punches, just straight out disrespectful behavior. And the whole idea as an employee to not put them hands on somebody, I am sorry. We all going to jail.
I don't know what it is.
It's ridiculous.
It's ever since we got out of COVID, people have been just acting poorly and badly. Like they've been. Can we curse on here?
Yeah.
They've been showing their ass. They have been showing their ass. Like it started with the airplane. Like people got back on the airplane, they forgot how to act. Like what was all that about? And now people are going into restaurants, fast food places, and like not just like throwing the food back at people, but like are hurling tables at employees. They're driving back through the drive-through and actually going through the window and attacking these people that are just trying to give them food. If the order's wrong, okay, come in and say the order's wrong and we'll fix it. Why are you attacking these people? They're just doing their job. No one's coming to your job and trying to kick your ass.
Right. And then the whole idea is, well, now I'm going to press charges. You can go ahead and press. I'm pressing charges too.
Absolutely.
Like we all pressing charges.
Because listen, Cardi B was at her workplace. She was doing what she was paid to do, performing for people. What gives you the right to attack her while she's doing her job? Right. And this is a trend where people are going to concerts and attacking artists on stage. There was a young woman, a young artist that just got her nose broken by someone who threw a boot and hit her in the face.
Yes.
It has to stop. It's getting ridiculous. You don't even want to go anywhere.
Was it Harry Styles who was also hit in the face with something? I mean, come on now. there's a certain level of decorum, and that just isn't it. But if you want to go there, by all means. I'm just saying. I mean, Lord bless me and all of my good soul. But if you come at me sideways, trust, I'm bringing out Joe Jackson. It's coming out.
Uh-oh.
My grandpa's coming. So I mean, it's I'm okay with it. It's like we don't have to go to jail today because we're not taking that.
So we are taking I'm starting a GoFundMe for Gwendolyn. Bail money.
She said Waffle House Wendy was up the street from my old job. Yeah, it's like people have lost their mind. They're just they're doing some of the things that make no sense whatsoever, and there doesn't appear to be any consequences because of it.
Yeah.
And I have to wonder if some of these companies are like, well, we don't want to get canceled, so we'll allow this behavior. When people start getting punched back, and I know it's violent, but we talked about that on my other show, Vigilante Justice. When you start throwing them blows and everything, then maybe you're going to realize I probably shouldn't behave this way.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Okay. I know we went slightly off kilter, and that's okay, but I'm going to come right back to it. So you met the husband on social media.
Yeah.
Was it like through just a mutual conversation? Was it a DM? I'm just curious.
So it was a DM, but here's the thing. It wasn't like that. So when I'm on social media, I tend to always make sure my sound is off, so I'm not getting all the. As you scroll through, you don't want to hear all the sounds. So typically, it's off. And I was living in New York, and it was a Friday night, which was very rare that I'm home on a Friday night because I used to travel a lot. Typically, on Thursday nights, I would get on a plane. I'm somewhere else, either in the country or out the country. And I was home, and I came across his page, and for whatever reason, the sound was on, and he was singing because my husband he's a singer. And I just sent him a message saying, hey, you got a great voice, a great talent. Just make sure you keep cultivating it, and best of luck in whatever you're doing, but you need to be singing. And I thought nothing else of it. I just kept going, whatever. But he literally messaged me back, was like, oh, thank you so much. I'm working on it. Stage presence and stuff like that because he's nervous. But he's always been singing because he grew up in the church and singing, and his family sings. That night we started talking. It was like around 9:00, and we didn't get off that DM thread until about 2 that morning. And halfway through the conversation, I realized that something was a little bit different. And at the time, I wasn't. I didn't let people in to know who I fully was, or as some people would say, in the closet. But I said I felt like something was different, and I said, "Does this feel weird to you?" Because I'm never in anyone's DMs. And to be honest with you, the conversation was completely platonic in the beginning, but then we realized something was different, and we just talked, and then after that we exchanged numbers, and I said, I'll call you in the morning. And he was shocked because I called him in the morning. Now mind you, I didn't go to bed till like maybe 3, 4 after we got off at 2, and about 7:00 I called him, and my husband and I have been inseparable ever since. And that was January of 2019. And we got married 1 year later on January 31st, 2020.
Oh, wow. It does move fast when you know.
Yeah, and I knew instantly. I'm gonna say one thing that people who follow me know because I've said this before. When we were on that just via messaging that night, I said to myself, I said, God, whatever this is, allow me to be open to it. I remember clearly saying that to myself, and it's been no looking back ever since. I knew that night that I was just like, this is weird, but it feels comfortable. And I said, this is my person.
They always said when you're not looking for love, love finds you.
I wasn't looking because trust me, I was okay with being single and just traveling the world and doing what I was doing. But I didn't realize that the world and the universe had something else in store for me. So
yeah. Well, I trust. I had no idea for mine. As Ron was like, "What? You're getting married? What?" I was like, "Yeah, somebody actually is going to try to ride this roller coaster." It ain't going. So hey, sidebar: double dutch or roller skating? What you got?
I'm going to say roller skating.
Oh, really? Were you good at it?
I could roller skate. I wasn't like proficient where I'm turning around, going backwards and doing stuff. But as a kid, I used to roller skate, and as an adult, I have a pair of rollerblades in my closet right now.
Oh, and do you use them?
I haven't this year. I haven't used them. I haven't, but I need to, because where I live, I can just easily go out and just be right along the river and just rollerblade for a good 4 miles.
Okay, okay. Rex says that this Tin Man has a heart. Ron also says that he loves it. He loves it and loves them. And just to make sure that we clear up our conversation about people acting out of pocket, Peggy talked about balance. See, that's why she and I are like this. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how it works. And Ron, of course, says, yeah, people have lost their mind. They've lost their mind. But if I had to, I mean, I think it's beautiful that roller skating and double dutch has made this resurgence.
Yeah.
This is what I did. I need all my wheels though. I can't do a straight line. I mean, I have problems standing up straight, like even now.
Funny. If you roller skated when you were younger, it's so easy to rollerblade. I thought it would be difficult. I started rollerblading back when I was living in Philadelphia back in like 2003-ish. So yeah, it's not that hard. It's a good workout though.
I was born a klutz. There is footage of me as a 3-year-old just tumbling. I still walk into walls today.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I may want to stick with the old. I do know this. It is the best body workout. Yeah. You're going to find all kinds of muscles you didn't even know existed.
Yes. Especially when you haven't done it for a while and you get on them. Yeah, it's a full body workout. Trust me.
Full body workout. And Gary's like happy that you found your person. And also he is down with looks like inline, straight line rollerblades. Okay. Yeah. All right. But I love how it's come back. Because at one point we had plenty of skating rinks in the Houston and Dallas-Fort Worth area. And then they just kind of dwindled. And now it's like, especially with the Usher, it's like full swing.
Yeah.
People got like rollerblading groups and bands, and they're just all in it. I'm like, okay, y'all trying to get cute. I want to get cute too. But I don't know about these bones though. Like, I can't. You get to that certain point, you're like, I'm not so sure. But we're going to find out. I need to get myself a pair of new skates. I need some new skates. But since we're talking about some fun, let's keep that going. You have any fun projects that you can talk about? Any fun projects?
Nothing that I can talk about now. But listen, you'll definitely see some stuff coming out, hopefully, in the fall. Quite a few projects. I mean, the other projects I'm working on, I have moved my show that I was doing, my Instagram Live, over to YouTube. That's going to launch in September. And then also I'm going to be on Indie Soup, Dr. Tachi's network. I'll have 2 shows over there. So I'm going to be busy come the fall. In addition, I had the conference call that I do with Rex and TJ. Yes. And we put out 2 shows a week. This week, we're only putting out 1 because we just finished the Drag Race series. And we'll probably do another one when that comes out again. But yeah, it's a lot. I'm on camera, I think, a couple times a week, easily.
Yeah. Yes, you are. But I am happy that you're moving everything to YouTube. It's just a better platform for video.
It absolutely is.
I'm not sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Because Instagram has given me a lot of chaos and kerfuffle. Love that word. And I love how Judge Judy uses it. Kerfuffle. Yeah. It's just
the unfortunate thing is, like, they had so much time to perfect it. Like, people really used it a lot during the pandemic, especially in the very beginning, and they did not take the time to invest in the infrastructure to do it. Like, they missed an opportunity there. And a lot of people are leaving Instagram for video to go to YouTube. I mean, YouTube is established anyway, and that's really where you want to be. But it's unfortunate because you can't really just translate the followers that you have over on Instagram to YouTube, because I have around 20,000 followers on Instagram. It's going to take me a while to build that up on Facebook. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of marketing and just kind of trying to drag people over, but we'll make it work.
Yeah, because a lot of these sites, networks, want to be everything for everybody. I know that the moment Twitter went to Elon, YouTube gave everyone the community tab on their channel. No matter how many followers you had, there was like, look, everybody gets it. So, but it is a better platform. It's just if you rest on your laurels, like some other companies, i.e. BlackBerry Research in Motion, then you end up losing. You end up losing. So it's like, go ahead and get things done. Hey, we got more comments. Erica's kid has a ring that you can stand inside that teach you how to skate. We don't need those assistants. Like I can do here. I was never a dancer because, like I said, natural klutz, we kind of stay with what's simple. We don't like to get,
You just want to be able to go around and stay upright.
Pretty much. That's where I am. That's what we're doing here. Kerfuffle is also Gary's word. I like how Just Judy says kerfuffle. I think it's the best word in the world. Next to accusatory. I like those words.
Okay.
I know. We do have our resident community member. He's the mayor. Spencer Bryan's in the building.
What's up, Spencer?
There you go. He keeps things alive here. It's going to be him. So here's the deal. What's in the future for you and the business? Clearly, you've got a lot of TV time coming. What else is going on?
I'm still trying to stay focused and just build my brand. I'd love to maybe bring on maybe one or two more clients. It's hard when it's just yourself doing it. But I think I have the capacity to bring on maybe one or two more clients. And I'm looking for big name clients. That is like the 1 year outlook to get at least one to two more. And just continue to build my brand individually. Like, I really want to get a foothold and monetize the YouTube channel, hopefully within the next 6 months to a year. That's the goal. And just keep doing what I'm doing. I love what I do. I love being on these platforms. I love speaking with people. I love having conversations like we're having today. Because if we would have met, I'd have been like, let's go grab some coffee. Let's go out for a drink. And we just sit here and we chat. This is how I look at all these things that I'm doing. I'm just having great conversations with great people and getting insight.
Yes.
And then, hey, if I make a little money on the side, all for it.
I am right there with you. We were talking about this earlier this year, and it's something that has stuck with me, but it's the idea of just getting back to human connection, right?
Yeah.
Like, I've always used social media to be social. When Twitter was the bomb, I was still in New York City. I could find out where to go and go hop from place to place, meet up with people. It was like the best life ever.
Yeah.
And then it became a dumpster fire.
It is trash. I am officially off of Twitter now.
Yeah. I just, and the whole X and whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever he's doing, I don't even know. I don't even know. But I know, right? But it's like, okay, great. So that's not there. But it goes back to, if you're in the same city, then you can always just say,
uh-oh. Come on. Jump back on. There we go. You have to repeat that. It doesn't want you to be great.
It does not. I'm literally watching the message come up and it's like, hey, in 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm like, hey, let me just wait. Let me just hold my thought. But here's the deal. That's the great thing about technology. Not gonna let it get me down. Not gonna let it get me down.
Yeah.
Not doing it. But the whole deal is, if you're on social media, you should be social. Yes. That is the whole idea. But if you're just trying to get followers and whatever they're called to like build up your ego and anything else,
does nothing for you.
You need to get like a dog or a puppy, a cat, some fish, something. I don't know, sugar mama, gigolo, something like that.
That might make you feel better.
Someone else didn't go. Right, it'll make you feel better. Yes, I do believe Elon killed Twitter. It was dying before he got there.
Yeah.
He hasn't made it better though. Let's just go ahead and call that what it is.
He's put the nail in the coffin.
I'm not gonna put it all on him. There was a shift, and that shift just, yeah.
He leaned into it. Let's just say
yes.
that.
Oh yeah, he definitely. Yeah. I mean, it was like a little bit of a smoke, and then he added some fluid, some lighter fluid, and
yeah.
It's just like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But I look for social media networks to help me meet other people. Like I use LinkedIn that way. That's how I met Peggy. Um, Threads I use kind of the same way. Like if you're gonna talk, I'm gonna talk, and then we can all talk together. And
Yeah.
if I'm in the same city, I would like to link up. That's how it works, right?
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't open a can of worms. Sugar mama. That's a suggestion that he now should take under consideration. Just saying, there's ways to get attention. I don't think that trying to feed your ego through social media is it, but that in itself is a whole nother can of worms because we can really go down like the Facebook effect and all that other kind of stuff. Oh my. But I want to say this because Lord bless all of me and my patience. Woo. Y'all know how I roll with my shows and stuff and like these things. But you know what? Like I said, it's not going to kill me. We keep on keeping on. But if you want to connect with Chris, we do have his Instagram here, constantly changing for me, as well as Threads. Same name on both platforms.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
On both platforms. Now, real quick question before we bring this to a close. Are you open for also like photography clients right now as well?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So I kind of like the photography is kind of taking a backseat a little bit, but it's funny. I had this conversation with Rex earlier before we got on. You know, this fall I'm going to really pick up gear as far as the photography. I've been kind of slacking up a little just because like the clients that I've been working with, it requires a lot of my time, and you have to know where and when to invest your time into certain things, into certain people. It needed to be done there for a while. But now I've kind of got it like on, cruise control. So I can get back into the photography and I'm going to be working on some projects coming this fall. So I'm excited about it. So yes, I'm open to photography projects. If you're in the tri-state area, I reside in Delaware, but my parents live in New York and I shoot in New York all the time. I shoot in DC a lot. I shoot in Philadelphia as well. So I'm all over the place. So the tri-state, from anywhere from DC to New York, I tend to be shooting.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, people, there you go. If you guys are in the area somewhere and you want to get a little something, and I have to say this, I dare not try to even show a website right now. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah.
but you want to go to Chris's website, constantly changing for me. That first shot of the suits and the fedoras and whatnot.
Yeah, so this website's going to get updated hopefully within the next month because it's a little dated now, and I need to really update it. But you know what? If you need to get in touch with me, go to my Instagram account because in my bio has my link tree and has all my links for everything that you're going to need for constantly changing for me. And hey, don't be afraid. Send me a DM. I have no problem with that. If you want to reach out and get in touch.
You don't say slide the DM.
Yeah, no, reach out, and I do a lot of business through my my DM on my account. That's how I've made a lot of business. So hey, reach out.
Well, you're far better than I've gotten all kinds of weirdos in my DMs.
Oh, I've gotten that too. But you just listen. There's a tool called block. I just simply block them.
We do use that tool. I'm like, are you serious right now? Like,
I
really?
use it often.
Oy vey vey. Oh my goodness, Chris, thank you for working with us.
Gwendolyn, it was a pleasure. Listen, technology's gonna be technology. We pushed through. It was nothing. Not a big deal.
Yeah, trust me, I've had worse. Oh yeah, I've had worse.
Yeah, I've had worse. I've been kicked out of my own live stream altogether.
Right. Like this is just one of those things. It has been great chatting with you. You have any parting thoughts for our crowd in terms of collaboration and partnership? Anything you want to leave this community with?
Be yourself, stay true to yourself, and work with people that you generally want to work with. I believe, and here's the thing, don't be afraid to ask people to collaborate. The worst thing that they say to you is no. And guess what? You'll be in the same exact position you were prior to asking them. So if they say yes, that's a win.
Oh my God. That's the mic drop right there.
Yeah.
That's the mic drop. Everybody, it has been great to have Chris Edwards here with us today. We enjoyed it. Absolutely loved our community for showing up and giving us all of the extra. And then, there's just so much in here that we're going to take from it. And we, of course, have our comments coming in. Of course, Peggy says it's a great show.
Thanks,
Ron,
Peggy.
of course, says that he loves us both. Oh my God, that's so
Back
sweet.
at you.
Mama even joining in. My mother, she's our local retired minister. So if need be, she can always get us like a good Bible verse. But let's not forget that she did have a little bit of road rage when I was growing up. Don't sleep on that. And then, of course, there's Gary. Thank you, Gary, for tuning in. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Another great episode of Small Biz Bites. We will see you all next week.
Bye.
Thank you for watching another episode of Small Biz Bites with Gwendolyn R. Houston Jack, where we chat with other creatives and small business owners about their journey. And we also invite you to like, share, and subscribe to the GR Houston Jack YouTube channel, where you can get the latest and greatest.